Alright guys, this is your video. You asked me if I would take a look at Reed Blankenship and tell you what I thought. Well, let's jump into the film, guys. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on in NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. The sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Hey, what's good, guys? If you're new to the channel, this is maybe the first, second, third time you caught my content. If I can ask you to do me just a huge solid here, if you enjoyed today's content, if you could just please hit that subscribe button. I would love to add you to the community. We just crossed over 5,000 subscribers. We're heading towards 10,000. I would love for you to be a part of that equation. To my OG subscribers, if I can ask you to keep hitting that like button, help me get this algorithm to notice we're here and push us in front of new audience members to potentially convert into community members, guys. All right, y'all. Today's topic. Reed Blankenship. So, I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch a ton of Middle Tennessee. They didn't cross my radar that much. I'll be honest, I'm in the ACC land. I see a lot of ACC football, and then I get a lot of SEC East, so South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida. Those three programs tend to kind of pop up on the local channels here a lot. So, you know, Middle Tennessee State, unless they were playing one of those programs or it was some kind of a weird off-schedule thing over the last 3 or 4 years, I didn't watch a ton of their games, if I'm being quite honest. So I wasn't overly familiar with Reed Blankenship. But I will admit, guys, when I went to go watch the film, I was like, hey, this young man can play. I don't know that he's going to be like a 2 or 3 years down the road, you know, Quentin Michael type story for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, I would love for that to happen. I do think that this young man is a little under the radar in terms of the athleticism. I think his measurements come in. They're intriguing at 6'1", 204 pounds. He's a 31 5/8 inch arm reach, which is, nearly 32 inches. So he's right around kind of where you see Anthony Harris. 76 1/4 inch wingspan. Put up a 4.55 40. So like I said, decent athlete, guys. He's not, he's not the fastest of guys, but that 1.5 10-yard split, that's a really good 10-yard split. And I think he had a 4.22 short shuttle, if I'm not mistaken. 7.09 3 cone, 33.5 inch vertical. I will say, he was versatile. The first thing I noticed when looking at the advanced analytics on Reed Blankenship is the fact that the young man kind of played all over the place as a safety. He gives you that versatility, being able to play in the box, 292 snaps on the season, and then also being able to kind of play up and over the top as a free safety at 335 reps. On top of that, guys, he's got 284 reps in the slot, and is a pure, strong safety. He played 230 snaps. So this young man really played kind of the roving safety role, the strong safety role, free safety. He played down as a nickel. I mean, they used this young man a lot inside that system, and he did quite well. The first thing I know everybody's going to love about him is he's a big hitter. I know that a lot of you probably went there to go watch his highlights and were like, holy crap, look at this dude. Yeah, man, he goes a little bit with the reckless abandon, right? He goes in there looking for that big hit. He's definitely a dude that could excite the crowd, if you will. The only concern I have with him is that the technique is not quite there. You can tell he's a little bit of a raw prospect, and you can see that kind of lay itself out in those 13 missed tackles. He's got to shore that up at the next level, guys. Yeah, it's all great to have those highlight reels and to have that big hit. But you know what? We're not going to be happy when he goes for that big chance, that big shot, misses it, and a dude ends up going down the field for 10, 15 more yards. Puts them in a really good spot to put points up on us. We're not going to be too happy about that. So I will say that he's physical. His pursuit angles, they need to be better. They're not the greatest, guys. He needs to be a lot better. But, because of how much he played around the line of scrimmage, guys, he had 20 stops on the year. So stops just constitute when there's a failure for the offense. So that's a really high number for what he did. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some things there that make you go, huh, okay, this young man can play. He wasn't as disruptive as you would think around the ball. I'll just tell you, it's all over the place for how people rate this. But I'm just going to say from what I saw from PFF's numbers, okay? You can go to a different database and you might get different numbers, guys. I don't have time for all that, guys. I'm just going to tell you where I got it from and how they recorded these underlying numbers. So, 4 forced incompletions, 4 pass breakups. He had a 9% forced incompletion rate. So, I thought his eyes were really good in deep zone. Deep zone basically meaning, guys, like you're doing something like a cover 3 where you're the deep safety, or you're in quarters coverage, even as a strong safety, where you got a quarter of the field is your responsibility. You're in that deep zone. You're not playing up. I thought his eyes were pretty good inside the deep zone. I think that there were some parts of his film where you went, wow, like this young man he really gets it. But I will say that I'm not too sure he was as disruptive as a force playing the ball in the air as one would maybe think. You know, quarterbacks had a 92.3 passer rating against him. I'm not going to say that's horrible, but it's not great either. You know what I mean? Like, it's average. It's decent. He only gave up 1 touchdown from what I can tell. 68% completion rate, but that kind of happens when you're playing deep zone. You know, ideally, you want to play well enough to get your defensive line a chance to get home. That's kind of the point of a deep zone, you know what I mean? So I'm not overly concerned about the completion rate per se, but nonetheless, you know what I mean? He had 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, which kind of speaks back to that 20 defensive stops aspect of things, to where he plays pretty well around the line of scrimmage. He's intriguing, guys. I mean, I'll bring this up by saying he's intriguing. I think he lost 2019 season due to a broke leg, if I'm not mistaken, guys, something like that. He's an older player. He's a guy that you probably expect to come in and be a little raw just because he played at Middle Tennessee State. I don't think that the concept and the schemes are that complex, but nonetheless, there's intrigue. He's very much an intriguing player. I don't know when he's going to be in the NFL, guys. I can't tell you that until he gets on the field. It's just difficult to tell right now. I would say that he's a name to really pay attention to when we get to OTAs. You know, we have the rookie minicamp stuff coming up right now, but when you get to OTAs, that, you know, in early June, that's when you'll start noticing what they think about some of these guys. That's when you'll start hearing some of the beat reporters will start reporting what they're hearing from the coaching staff about certain players and the way that they were using certain players inside the system, inside the scheme. He's a guy to kind of keep your eye on. He's definitely some intrigue there. I don't know that just by judging and watching his film that I'm going to say, like, oh, like, you know, this guy gives me so much more than Maiden does, who's a deep roster guy, right? I mean, I don't know. Who knows? It's hard to say, guys. He's intriguing. I think that there's some underlying athleticism there. I think that he definitely fits some of the things we've heard Gannon talk about being versatile with your safeties, being able to play up and back. This guy being able to play free, strong, in the box as a rover, in the nickel position as a corner almost. Like, it'll be what it'll be. I don't know, guys. We'll see how it all kind of pans out for him. All right, guys, I appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you guys on the next video.